Alright, so it's episode 5 of The Broken Leopard. That's me. I'm stiff and I'm tight and I just don't have the skill to do an overhead squat. I don't have the flexibility for it, or I don't have good flexibility to do it well. And throughout these 5 days of really trying to hammer down on using a mobility wad and using the book, Supple Leopard, plugging his book because, it helps me. Anyways, trying to get this overhead squat down. And what I found, I've had some few breakthroughs. If you know that one stretch that I showed you from before, actually I'll just show you really quick. Spending a great deal of time in this position, just really opening up this hip, trying to create that same shape in the squat because my hips and adductors are very tight. I found that's a big, kind of a big rock, so to speak. But just like anything else, when it comes to any type of strength movement, squat, deadlift, bench press, push-up, double unders, whatever, it's a skill. And overhead squat is no different. It is a skill. No matter how tight you are, position, form, core stability are all really important. So, I have found that if you don't set yourself up properly, you won't. It's very difficult for me to execute the squat, and I just kind of give up. I get discouraged. But you have to come to realize that I've probably done an overhead squat with a 45-pound barbell approximately, I want to say, less than 20 times in my lifetime. So I've only done an overhead squat, maybe 300 or 400 times with a PVC pipe. Now, let's think about this more. How many times have I bench pressed? How many times have I deadlift? How many times have I done a pull-up? How many reps total accumulated over the course of, the last 10 years? Hundreds and hundreds, if not thousands. Definitely thousands for sure. So my skill set for that movement, for those movements, are really high because I've done them so many times, just like anything else, just like driving. When you first drive, you can't even imagine chewing gum or changing the radio station. Now, we do a bunch of stuff we're not supposed to do while we drive, like text on our phone or check the email or text messages, whatever. Anyways, so what I found that's really important, obviously, is position, and setting self up is really important. And you know what? A lot of this is feel. I found that it's got to feel right. So once you execute a good overhead squat that feels good to you, finding the right position for you, it's kind of like finding the bottom of a squat. You don't have to look in the mirror to see if you get the bottom of a squat, especially if you've been there a bunch of times. Same thing with the bench press. You just kind of know where it is. And it takes a little bit of time to figure that out or feel that out. So I'll demonstrate where I'm at. So, hopefully you got that. Let me take a look at my camera. Yep, you should see my feet in that video. So that felt pretty good with the PVC pipe. Now I'm going to do it with the bar. Show you where I'm at. So position, I found works best if I start on my back and then press it up. That way I can get a good external rotation. Did not feel good position there, which is why I didn't make that squat. Let's try again. Oh man. So dissecting this and trying to find that sweet spot, I can't quite get it all the time. One thing I do need to set myself up for, or maybe you get the idea, is that you got to kind of pull it apart. I found, again with the PVC pipe, if I get out wide, kind of externally rotate my shoulders, bend the bar, squeeze my glutes, I can stay fairly I don't know, I feel upright. I'm probably not upright, but I feel more upright than I usually do. What's up, Ender? And part of the reason why is one thing I'm doing to be stable is I'm pulling the PVC pipe apart. And with the barbell here, it's a whole different task. So, let's try this again. I do want to get one on camera at least. Come on, do this. So I almost feel like that if I get closer in and then allow my body to be able to pull it apart, I can get one. It's kind of like the same concept of putting your feet into the ground, screwing in, trying to create that, putting your feet on the ground, screw in the external rotation torque, and then go down into a squat. Alright? So, that was my 2 cents. Again, recap, how do you do an overhead squat, or how does Ryan, the broken leopard, do an overhead squat? Find a position that's not too far away, but pretty close to my best position for the overhead squat position, and then pull apart, let my hands slide out. Obviously with a heavier weight, I won't have to do that, but that's the kind of feeling I need to have. So, hopefully that was informative, and I did this in one take.